I would describe Biggie's persona and style as something that's smooth.
I think that's what really drew the ladies to him.
Biggie was a Mac.
The kind of cool guy.
Every guy wanted to be like Biggie or be his best friend, and all the women clearly wanted to sleep with him.
Like, I would just want to be in the room with Biggie and be like, oh my God, I'm about to be in his verse.
He had that Don swagger.
Very Brooklyn, very charismatic.
So he was such a dynamic fashion person, and I don't think we were expecting that to come from someone who was on the corner rapping and freestyling, battling.
Big really knew how to wear his clothes.
Big pulled off so many looks and did it so well.
It really didn't matter what he put on, he owned it.
Biggie Smalls is like 6 feet tall, probably like 300 plus pounds, walking around in some wallabies and a fur coat.
You're like, Biggie, you may be a little bit too brown for red pants. He didn't really care.
The Hawaiian shirts.
I remember the fruity Coogee sweater.
His style represented everything that the 90s were about.
Whatever he wanted to rock, and they made it in his size, he made it work, and it looked extra cool.
I remember him going from lumberjack to like full white suit with like a top hat.
You could see him get dressed up.
He had the Versace glasses.
He's in the Kango, and
He was a hood dude, but he was rocking those designer fashions. He was bridging both of them.
Biggie had a cigar next to Diddy, and he had the shawl on.
they used to twin it all the time. I was very impressed that most of the time, Big looked better than Puff.
For all the rappers that rock the Jesus piece, Big was the one, for me growing up, that was it.
Those medallions became such a big deal.
Big man with the pendulum swinging with Jesus' face on it.
That iconic photo, him wearing the crown. It was also a fashion statement, but it was also a statement of like, I am the king.
As an artist, you are, especially a musical artist, it's not just music, man. It's your image too.
You know, Biggie inspired everybody. Lyrics, swag, fashion.
Have you seen somebody in a sweater with a Jesus piece? Yup. Have you seen somebody with a suit on? Yup. Leather jacket? Yup. Plaid shirt, button up?
I think he influenced the big boys the most.
Definitely Ross knew what he was doing when he was looking at old Biggie pictures. He was like, all right, cool. I'm the new version of him.
Because if you want to take from somebody, you better take from Big.
I can't think of a rapper that didn't look at Biggie's fashion sense. And maybe not consciously, but we took from it one way or the other.
If I had to name an artist who came close to Big style-wise and fashion-wise,
The only other Brooklynite besides him that was that dope was Fab.
Maybe like a Fab, like a Fabulous.
Fabulous is one of the flyest dudes out there, especially right now, and he's elevated his style, but he always has, it's like that hood chic that we love the most about them.
Fab is very Biggie, Fab is very Bed-Stuy, and he's taking that from the 90s on now. Fab to this day is still one of the flyest guys in the hip-hop game.
They want to test the boundaries and in some ways test them just for the sake of testing them.
If Big were still alive, I know that his fashion would be parallel to what Fab is doing.
Fashion is one of those things that just draws people in and makes you like the person.
When it comes to molding an artist, their fashion, their style, their whole persona, can determine whether or not that artist will be successful.
Biggie's confidence is definitely what made him one of the dopest MCs.
Big just kind of carried it everywhere he went, specifically in the music. It oozed out in his lyrics, it really did.
That definitely attributed to how people looked at him as an MC and as a rapper.
From fashion to lyrics, and that plays a huge role, especially in music today.
It's just, it's iconic. Love it.